Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Peter, and behind me, there in that mess, there is a little cute bike, the Yamaha XVS 125 DragStar. So let's take a look at it and start a new project. Some of you asked for another DragStar. I got one for you, so let's take a look at it. Alright, so we've got this XVS 125 DragStar. I think it's like a 2004-ish, I think. I had to look it up at the title. And I picked this bike up because I had a customer that had one of his, and he wanted me to bring it back to life. It had low compression. We priced the engine repair, and he didn't want to spend that money because you never know when you do the top end rebuild what the bottom end is gonna do, and that's why he scrapped the idea of repairing it. He wanted me to buy it out for a part out. I was waiting on that because I found an advertisement on this bike. I rang the guy as quickly as I could. I went there and I bought it. It sat a couple of years, and the guy said they had a problem with the fuel system. It left them stranded a couple of times, let his kids stranded a couple of times. So that was the main reason why he was inclined to sell it. The bike overall condition is not that greatest, so I opted my customer for an engine swap from this bike to his bike. He didn't want that either, so we scrapped his bike and we are putting the nice and shiny parts on this bike because I think it's less work to switch the you have to strip it all the way anyway, and it's less work to put just the tank, the fenders, and the side covers on this bike than to put a whole engine into that bike, do all the service to it and stuff like that. So we're going to work with this bike, and as you can see, I tried to polish the tank. The paint is dull, as you can see. I tried to polish the tank. It's polished really nice, but the paint has a lot of cracks in it, and I think it's a better choice for me to go with that other bike. I have the spare parts from the other bike here, and as you can see, the paint is nice and shiny. We will go over it with a buffer, and I think it will look even better. We have some flames on it that I hopefully no scratches and marks are under that. I will peel those off. I personally do not like those. We have a carb, we have an intake booth, we have a whole intake, and we have the bezel because there is the emblem that's missing on our bike. So we need to strip the seats, tank, the bezel. The air intake is not OEM on this bike. That's something that we will have to tackle because there is a little bracket that's holding through the head bolts, and I don't want to take out the head bolts to get this bracket back together. So we will probably cut the old bracket from that other engine and put it on, welded on this one. The boot has cracked, and you can see that right here. These plastics have some holes in it. For that matter, let's take it off. And as you can see, it is from the exhaust here. It's it used to be red. It was welded, painted, not very good. So we will be changing those. I think that's pretty obvious why we're changing that. So let's get to stripping this bike down. Let's start with the easy things. like, yeah, I said it's easy. Probably. Yep, that's that key. Yep, much better. And the bezel is next. Right, so the gauges are fairly simple. There is one push pin that you push through, and then you get yourself a pick or whatever underneath it and gently pry it out and lost it on the floor like I do. So there is one on the other side as well. Pop the guy off. And gently pry him away. There he goes. There's two. And then there is a 4mm Allen right here. Like so. We need meat crate here. Just drop it. Get our things there. And now just lift off on this and pry on the cable a little bit, because there is a speedo cable is connected there. And you might need some pliers for that. Or your stronger hand. Like so. Two connectors. One larger one. And one smaller one. And that's it. The rear seat is easy. 6mm Allen here. Like so, and just lift off. Now the seat bracket has two 4mm Allens. These little guys. And there's the seat bracket. There's the seat. Alright, the tank. 13mm. Oh, 12, I'm sorry. 12mm. And it's pretty tight. Oh geez, that's tight. Alright, bigger ratchet. Jesus, that was tight. Smell here. And couple lines on this side. Fuel line and the vacuum line for the vacuum operated petcock, like so. And we just need to get the fuel line off. So the hoses are disconnected. Now wiggle your tank, lift it off, pull your harness, the speedo cable and the vent hose through, and the tank is free. Alright, so now let's discover together. We need to pull this cover off, get the key back in, and I can see that the intake booth here is cracked, but we have this intake arch that I thought we won't have. So that's at least that's somewhat positive. The vent that should go into the where is connected? Yeah, that's connected to nowhere. Okay, let's get this off. All right, so these two 10 mils loosen up the clamp on the carb. One 10 mil. Oops, I bumped you. Two 10 mils. And this thing should be ready to come out. There is a vent. I didn't see on the other bike. Okay, so we have that. Alright, so now we can see our carb clear, right? We need to get the line from the fuel pump off, or get it off with the fuel pump as a whole. I will probably get it off with the fuel pump because I need to check the fuel pump anyway if it's not clogged or anything like that. So I'll probably get it off as a whole unit, and we will worry about the other stuff later. Hex screwdriver. So loosen this. Loosen this a lot. Loosen the choke cable. I also noticed these carbs. They are assembled a little bit differently than the other one, because the heating elements on this carb is here and here, and on the other carb it's here. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be on this one, aerial motor, or what is it? And this is stuck. Now it's not. Okay, so the choke cable is free. Here we go, and carb should be also free, and it is. We need to disconnect the TPS sensor, which is hard to do one-handed, like so. The heating element on this side is disconnected. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. And we need to push the carb through on to this side. Get the spark plug out. Spark cable, I should say. And there it goes. Still holding onto something, but we will find out soon where it's hanging up. Let's loosen the cables. 10 millimeter. Loosen the throttle cables up. The previous owner, and he said he spent $1,000 fixing this this bike, and yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them being put to this bike. So this cable's free. Now we need to navigate and free up the lower one. And unhook this. Again, hardly done one-handed. Come on. Okay, and the carb and the fuel pump is free. So let's put them here and compare them. Blah, old tarnished gas. On this one, the acceleration pump does not return, and on this one the acceleration pump works. So we will probably rebuild this one using some parts from this one, and we'll see how that's gonna work out for us. I kinda forgot one very important thing, and that's why I bought this table. this table can be lifted up and I do not have to sit on the ground as I did this whole video. Yeah, we have a nice saying here: when the head is stupid, the whole body suffers. Yeah, and it's true. Right, so next step: 5mm Allens. Get these fancy covers off. The one that's pain in the butt is this one. It's right over this bracket, and it's really pain to get out. And then get this off. It is all cracked up to hell, and we've got a different one, so we will change that. My bad. These screws are fake. You just pull on it. And pull and squeeze it through. And as you can see, these bolts are fake. Jeez. Making a liar out of me, bike. Alright, all the covers and the intake, which is busted, is off. And now we can start the service process, which is to get these covers for the valves off. Jesus, that one was tight. And look up the spec for the valves. Jesus, you don't have to have these so tight. And let's check the valves, make sure they are all right before. Jesus. Before we move over to the oil, because I think the oil will be full of gasoline, but I do not have the oil filter. That will be here tomorrow morning, so we have to do the thing that we have. And already I can smell the gasoline from that engine. That engine's probably full of it. So let me look the spec up and I will be right back. Alright, so the intake should be 0.08 to 0.12 millimeters. The exhaust should be 0.10 to 0.14 millimeters. And so we will set them to 0.10 on the intake and 0.13 on the exhaust. The exhaust gets a little bit harder, so we will set it up a little bit looser. The intake we will set just right in the middle. I said it that the engine is full of gasoline, and I catched on the video just the end of it. Alright, so we will be looking here. So I will be rotating the engine on the top dead center of the cylinder number 1. Now we are on the exhaust stroke, and now we are on the intake, and now we are on the compression stroke. So we have lash on both valves. Now let's take our feeler gauge here. Yeah, that's a little tighter, so let's loosen it up. I will show you only one valve. I'll show you only one valve because it's the same for all of them. Just Jesus, that's tight. Yeah, Jesus, that do not have to be that tight. So loosen it up a bit. Yeah, now it's dragging. Might need a little more drag than that. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So let's tighten it up. Yeah, I think that's perfect. A little drag. That's perfect. So now the other ones. Alright, so all of them needed up loosening. Now we have nice clacky valves on both cylinders. I went to the other motor and grabbed the 4 of the caps, because our caps, and this is the cap here, I lost them. I probably left them at the other engine, but they had marks from the wrench, so I thought I will change them. And the guy that I bought it from, this bike, he thought, or he said, this engine was rebuilt, and I frankly do not see any evidence of it. I do not see any sealant that's protruding on the blocks, between the blocks. I don't see any fresh gaskets and stuff like that, but at least somebody was attending to the valves. Alright, it is time to unleash hell. Let's crack loose the oil drain plug and see what waterfall of gas coming out. Frankly, do not look forward to this. I'll have probably a small pot for this, but it has to be done. Yeah, there's so much gas in it. So much gas. Yep. So much gas. Jesus Christ. We need to new pot. All right. This pot is about 5 quarts, so and this should hold 2 liters. I think, no, 2 quarts, maybe even less than that. I think there was no oil in this bike, just straight up gas. Jesus. Alright, plan of attack. After seeing this, I thought the gasoline will be there, but as you can see, it was just gas, no oil. So that oil just evaporated and that gasoline, because there was like 7 liters of gasoline and like 1.5 liters of engine oil. So the plan of attack here is to add 1.6 liters of engine oil. With the old filter, it is soaked with gas. It will dilute the contents a bit, but we will flush it with the oil, let it get warm, some gas will evaporate, and then we will dump the oil again and put new filter and new fresh fluid in it. So we will do at least 1 or 2 oil changes on this motor before we will be driving it for the first test drive. So let's put the oil in it. Alright, so let's put 1.6 liters of oil in it. I will be putting this model 5000 here because this is lower grade oil. It's not that expensive. It's probably the specs on this oil are probably within line with this engine, but for air-cooled engines I like to use higher quality engine oil because of the temperature which these things run. So let's get 1.6 liters in it, and I think the one of the bolts here is main oil gallery, so we will crank it and see if the oil will come out, and if we can make oil pressure. That's 1 liter. 1.6. And there is 0.6. What I think is the biggest flaw with this bike is, let me show you where you check the oil. Alright, so the place where you check the oil is there. Can you see that window that's behind the exhaust here? This is pretty stupid place to put your oil check window. I think they should have made a dipstick for these engines, because these bikes sit so low, so you have to like lay on the ground, and it is not comfortable, and yeah, it's just not convenient. All right, I believe this bolt goes to the main oil gallery, so I took it off. I have my jumper pack, and let's see if there will be any oil coming out. Yeah, we have the ECU unplugged. Well, alright, we've cranked it a bit. I removed the spark plug, and as you can see, we have oil mixed with the gasoline. Yeah, it's mainly gasoline still. Alright, so I wanted to check the oil pressure, but I do not have that small fitting, so yeah, I need to order a fitting, and we'll check the oil pressure once it's running. I let it spin with the starter for a minute or so. I hate spinning engines with a starter, but yeah, it's a necessary evil in this case, I think. And we pumped some of the diluted oil out, and I think we have done the half of the service on the bike. So I think we will end it here, and in the next episode we will tackle the reassembly, and then probably first run, first startup and stuff like that. And in the episode 3 we will probably attack the cosmetics. So thank you all for watching, and if you want to see more of this Yamaha XVS 125 DragStar, please consider subscribing, sharing the video, whatever you want to do, and I will really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!